Hello everybody, and welcome back to Space Engine. Where we left off on this frigid airless mini aquaria with life. We're going to continue on with our adventures. I have a cat sitting on my lap. He is purring very loudly and is just very happy to be here. So he might be chewing on my hand or something while I'm doing this, but hopefully he will not cause too many problems. I don't think he will. He's usually pretty good about that. There it is. I found it. Yeah, I apparently screwed this up last time, but going over this time. Boom. Alright, it is a big ol' elliptical galaxy, that's for sure. Hi Jimmy. Well, might as well explore it. It looks to be mostly full of older stars. Not a lot of star formation. In fact, I would say almost no star. Well, it's yellows. It's a yellow G1. 20 planets. Nice, let's go there. Oh, it's a binary, that explains it. Damn. Let's go to the one with rings. I enjoy rings. Boom. Alright, that's an interesting looking planet. It's kind of pretty. I like pretty planets. The visuals, very important. Okay, what's new in the world? Well, I've sadly had to start monetizing my YouTube channel again. I really hate YouTube ads, but I kind of can't, like, do things for free right now anymore. I have to, like, actually make money on what I'm doing. Because that's just unfortunately how life is. So until things improve, I'm going to be putting ads on my videos. Against my will, mind you. I don't want to, but I kind of have to. So, hopefully I can find a better way to pay for this channel that doesn't require ads. There is the Patreon page. I can probably link that below. But nobody's doing that right now. And I don't blame them. It's like a tip jar, basically. But whatever. So, you can expect that. I'm not going to put ads on all the Space Engine videos because when you monetize your videos, you have to check off what's in the video, and one of them is like profanity, and you have to like determine how much profanity you have in your videos. And I do swear sometimes in these videos, and I was not in the mood to go through each one to figure out how much I swore just to put ads on it. So it's like, no, I'll put ads on the fact videos and future videos going forward, but all the rest of the Space Jam videos, they're not gonna have ads on them because it's just too much work to go through them and make sure that I'm properly doing it. So, at least that's a caveat. This video will have ads, and that hurts me. I hate YouTube ads so much. It's a very painful thing to admit, but, well, gotta do what you gotta do. A lot of F-type stars in this galaxy, I'm noticing. F8s, FVs, and A-type. Ooh, let's go there. A5. Wow, luminous. And it has a little companion. Ooh, it's a Torrid Super Neptune. Nice. And it has its own little entourage of probably asteroids? Yeah, asteroids. That's a fun word, entourage. Actually, this has been a pretty good week for me so far. I got my results back from the barium thing, and structurally, everything is fine. Which is good, but not gonna lie, I'm disappointed. Because something like a hiatal hernia or an ulcer would have been, like, an answer, and it would have been good. But no, that did not pan out. So, for once, I'm disappointed to get a clean bill of health. But, oh well. I'm fairly certain it's not my gallbladder. There is a history of that in my family. Maybe I can look into that more. Maybe my pancreas. I have a bunch of blood work I have to get done too. And I forgot to ask about liver enzymes and pancreatic enzymes. I suspect they're on the list, but I'll have to check. So, I don't know. We'll see. I have been feeling better since I stopped using the cast iron skillet. So, I do have some concerns or speculations about iron, like getting too much iron in my diet, which is what the blood work's going to find out. So that's kind of fun. Because if it turns out I've just been poisoning myself with iron over the last few years, I'm going to be very upset. I mean, I'll be happy because that's an incredibly easy fix, but I'll be upset. uh, Actually, the best way to treat, like, well, if you have, like, a lot of iron in your blood all of a sudden from iron poisoning, or just from too much iron intake, the best way to treat that is to just bleed yourself, like go give blood, or just to have a volume of blood removed, because your body doesn't really secrete iron quickly in any fast way. So if I do indeed have too much iron in my system, I'll find it. It's probably in my liver, but it's there. So that's been something, I suppose. Not to talk about my medical problems. They're more just mildly annoying at this point, but whatever. I can get some humor out of it. Jimmy, you're fine. Alright, we have a orange supergiant and a black hole. Oh yeah, I guess it's a K-type, I was about to say. Let's go to the black hole. Why? Because I like black holes. Black holes are cool. They are fun, little dense pricks of awesome. Look at Einstein ring. A fun fact about that. Do you know that Einstein originally didn't think black holes could exist? Because, like, there was... I forget his name. It's like... the Schwarzschild radius? I forget how to pronounce his name. But, like, the radius of a black hole, basically, where the event horizon starts. The guy who invented that. It's like Schwartz or Schwarzschild... SH something. I feel bad. Anyways, he mathematically postulated that you could have these objects that were pinpoint singularities that had so much mass that light wouldn't escape them. And at first they called them, like, what, dark stars, I think, or cold stars. But yeah, no, everyone thought they were just like a mathematical possibility. It's like the numbers say they could exist, but there's no way to determine that. And Einstein was like, they probably don't exist. Let's be real about this. So they went about their, astronomers went about their days dealing with that. And I think it was like studies of Sagittarius A star, the black hole in the center of our galaxy. Although I thought Cygnus X1 was the first one that was first determined. Oh man, I need to read up more on this because I'm really, I forget a lot of the details. But it was something like, it was either Sagittarius A star or Cygnus X1. I know that it was some black hole. Anyways, they were looking at it and they were getting like radial mass measurements and stuff from stars, and they found that it was this object was so dense. And like it didn't fit the bill for any star that had been seen before, and they were like, it seems to fit the bill for a dark star or a cold star, and people were like, oh. And then further investigation, it's like, yeah, we found a point source of incredible density orbiting a star. And the supermassive black hole, same thing. It's like there's this object in the center of the galaxy. We don't know what it is, but it seems to have properties similar to these hypothetical black holes. And it's like, oh. So black holes were kind of just like, they were theorized in math, and then they were discovered because somebody found objects in the galaxy that didn't fit with normal stellar evolution, but seemed to fit the bill for these ultra dense points of matter. Jimmy, you better behave yourself. Yeah, you better. He's sitting by my, like, a pile of stuff on my floor. He likes to cause problems. And I think it's cool. It's like black holes went from this, like, mathematical curiosity that a lot of scientists didn't really think we'd find them, to suddenly, boom, they exist. And this is kind of cool. Kind of cool. I like space mysteries. Actually, one I've been laughing about recently is the Martian nuclear explosion theory, or hypothesis, I should say. It's not a theory. Basically, there's some interesting data about Mars. For one, there's unusual groupings of, like, uranium and thorium isotopes in various parts of the planet. And there's an interesting isotope ratio of an isotope of xenon. I forget which one, but there's basically an interesting proportion of this isotope, this xenon isotope in the atmosphere, that is it's very often associated with nuclear fission reactions. So there was this thought that it's like, why is there all this weird radiological stuff going on Mars? And there's even some parts on Mars that have just higher than normal like gamma radiation detections coming from them. And it's kind of curious. One of the leading ideas is that it's just there's like natural reactors under the ground, kind of like the Oslo reactor or Oslo reactor. That natural reactor in Africa, I forgot what it's called, not Oslo. But something like that was going on. But my cat's misbehaving. 1 second. Jimmy, stop it. Whatever you're chewing on, I'm going to put a stop to that. Anyways, so there's some thought that there's these natural nuclear reactors of uranium and thorium in the rocks under the ground. But there was this one paper that came out where it was like, there was a nuclear explosion on Mars. And it very much says, oh, it's probably natural from these natural reactions causing explosions. I'm playing with, stop it. I swear to God, man. So, and like, it keeps saying, it's like, oh, it's these natural reactions. And, you know, a reactor on Mars may have exploded and did this. But some people saw this and thought, what if there was a nuclear war on Mars, and that accounts for all this, you know, interesting information? And all of your reputable sources look at this and go, no, there wasn't a nuclear war on Mars. But less reputable sources go, oh my God, there was a nuclear war on Mars. And it's just like, it's so funny. It's like, there's some radiological oddities, sure, but I highly doubt there was a nuclear war on Mars 2 million years ago, or however long it apparently might have been. But I still think it's funny. It's like, yay, if you think there's a nuclear war on Mars, cool. Go to Mars, find evidence. If you think that there's archaeological evidence of a civilization on Mars, by all means, go to Mars and look for it. Because even if you find nothing, the process of looking for it will dig up new information and new insights about Mars that are important. So, I'm always on board with wacky space archaeology. Ugh, I'm talking too much. Because even in the process of looking for whatever it is you're looking for, you're going to find other stuff tertiary to it, which is interesting. It's kind of like how in physics, the process to like look for something generally develop, or like in the process to discover an answer to a single question, you develop a ton of other questions along the way because you learn more stuff along the way. What if the real unified theory is the theory we developed along the way, kind of situation? So it's like, even if you're chasing a like if you're on a wild goose chase, or if you're looking for an answer that is probably wrong, or you're looking for something that probably doesn't exist, there is still value in the work. I mean, and there's some limitations to that, but it's like looking for Atlantis, for example. Now, the city of Atlantis was an allegory for like the folly of a civilization, or like the hubris of a civilization, and it was never meant to be a real place. But people looking for Atlantis have uncovered tons of shipwrecks and sunken cities and all sorts of really valuable archaeological evidence. So it's like, sure, they're looking for a fictional location, but I'm never going to tell them they're wasting their time, because they're really not. In the search for Atlantis, they're finding all sorts of valuable stuff. So, in the search for Martians, we may find valuable stuff. Why is my asthma acting up? I just realized it's getting harder to breathe. Yeah, it happens from time to time. Where this galaxy is kind of an odd place. It feels like a soup of interesting stars. What's this? A temperate super oceana, super aquaria, sea composition, water. I should hope so. Atmosphere, carbon dioxide, and water. No life. My. It's just a water world. Quick, somebody call Kevin Costner. Ha ha ha. I actually like that movie. I mean, like, screw you, I like that movie. I also like The Postman. And it's like, two of Kevin Costner's apparently worst movies are the two that I actually like. And it's like, alright. I mean, The Postman was just kind of a fun post-apocalyptic movie. It was really slow to start, and then it picks up. Like, you can probably skip the first, like, 30 minutes and you're fine. And Waterworld is just Mad Max with boats. Which, how can you not like that? Mad Max with boats. It's awesome. A temperate asteroid. Oh man, speaking of boats, kind of tertiary. I learned another fun fact about Canadian law here is we have no airship industry. None. As a result, we have no regulation on airships. At least no indigenous regulations. Because of that, what we do is we use American regulations on airships. And one of the funny things about this basically means there is no independent licensing required for airships, blimps, and dirigibles, things like that. If you want to operate any form of lighter-than-air aircraft in Canada, you just need a balloon license, hot air balloon license. Which means that I can get a hot air balloon license and then fly a blimp in this country. And that's just the funniest thing I have found out all week. It's just, I love it. And so what I'm thinking of doing is actually getting a hot air balloon license, because it isn't that hard even. I looked into it. It's like, a 10 hours of ground school, and then like, 16 hours of flight time, a couple of cents above 5,000 feet, and like 3 30-minute solo flights. Anyways, so get that, and then get a thermal airship, which is basically a hybrid blimp hot air balloon. And like just have an airship, man, because I live in the prairies. I live like near the foothill mountains in the prairies. I've always wanted a ship, like a boat, but it's not practical. I have a kayak. That's the closest thing I get to a boat because there's just rivers and lakes around here. But airships, oh yeah, I can totally do it. So I'm thinking over the next few years, I'm going to try to kind of move things. Where the hell is I can't see the pointer on the screen anymore. I'm going to try to kind of move some things into potentially getting a hot air balloon license and saving for a thermal airship, because they're not that expensive even. Like a thermal airship from like the UK is comparable to the price of a car. You can get them even cheaper if you get like the really crappy hot air balloons, but I don't want that. So I'm like, you know what? I want a ship, and I can't have a boat ship, but I can have an airship apparently with a hot air balloon license. So that's next on my list, or it's on my list of plans of life goals. No idea how that'll work out. I can't afford that right now, obviously, and I can't actually like go out and do stuff right now because I'm still fixing my physical and mental health. But I have that as a goal now. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna get a balloon license and become and just unironically become an airship captain, because nobody can stop me, and that's just really funny. I'm actually gonna see, like, if I'm gonna go in on this, I'm gonna see about designing a thermal airship and having it custom made by somebody, because they kind of suck performance-wise. They're non-rigid. They're basically just like a hot air balloon with a tail that you can control and an engine. So they're kind of crappy in terms of performance. They don't go very fast. They can go up and down pretty good, but they're hard to turn. So I'm going to design one that is intentionally built to have much better performance. I'm going to give it, like, I was thinking like inflatable ribs, or like an inflatable structure, like a little tubes that you inflate to high pressure, and that creates a rigid structure while still being lightweight. And then design the actual shape of the envelope to specifically be aerodynamic for both vertical, or for both lateral and horizontal wind things. Up and down doesn't matter. So it's probably going to be kind of more, it's going to be wider and flatter than it is tall, kind of thing. Maybe, we'll see. I might just say screw the wind issue and make it tall. But either way, that's totally my plan now. Is I'm gonna be an airship captain. I'll put on my well, probably my Greek fisherman's hat, which I wear just around town, and I'll literally be the weird captain. Yeah, it's like in wintertime, I always wear my Greek fisherman's cap because it's a nice cap. I like it. And I have a long wool coat that I wear in the wintertime because long coats are just way more comfortable. And in the wintertime, I honestly I look like just a generic sea captain because I have my beard and I have my captain's my black captain's hat and then my long wool coat. So it's like, you know what? Why not? I'll make a pirate style long coat and I'll wear that and just literally just live my best life as an airship captain recreationally. I still have actual like life goals and job plans, but these asteroids are kind of cool. But just recreationally, it's like if I can't have a boat, I'll have an airship. So those are my plans with life. Anyways, that's 21 minutes, so I will leave it off there. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to help out the channel, you can check the Patreon page below. That would help a lot. If you have ideas for a place for me to go, let me know. Topics to talk about, I'll talk about anything. And if you have questions, I'll answer them. I read comments. You guys are great. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and space.